Speaking of Ed Lover, check your phone right quick. Me and Easy Mo B, we did an interview some years ago, and I want you to watch this clip of him speaking on his run-in with Tupac in LA.
Okay, let me check it out.
I'm gonna tell you a story. I don't know if too many people know about this. Me, AB, and JR had came with our manager. We went to LA, and there was a party we were supposed to go to. I'll never forget. It was on Rodeo Drive, right? Okay, so the way we pulled up to a light, my manager realized that the club that we had to go to was across the street. So what we needed to do was make a U-turn. But we got caught at a light. This black BMW, or was it a Mercedes, but it was a black drop top, pulled up next to my manager's Cherokee Jeep truck. So I'm sitting in the back seat, and AB sitting in the back seat too. I think JR might have been in the front. I said, yo, yo. I looked over. It was Pac. I looked over and I rolled the window down. I said, yo, Pac. I said, yo, what up, man? It's Mo B. He looks up because he had to look up. He's in a drop top. He had to look up. He looked up. He said, and kept waiting for the light. The light turned, it changed, and he drove off. And that's when I said, you know what? Yeah, he don't want to deal with people from New York no more. He don't. You gotta understand this. He was in a position where he didn't know who to trust, man. He didn't know who to trust. And you know what? I wasn't mad. I understood that. I did. I understood it. You know, if I had stuff like that happen to me, and then somebody from back from that city, I see them. I don't know what he know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't know. So I don't trust him. So it was a shocker. It shocked me, but I wasn't mad about it. I understood it. I was like, yeah, I get it, man. But it kind of hurt me though because he looked up. He looked me right at me, and I said, "It's Mo B," and he didn't even say nothing. He just turned his head like that and kept looking with his hand on the wheel, looking straight ahead at the light, waiting for it to change. The light changed, and he jetted off. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that's deep because you know, Easy Mo B is a good dude. We did a lot of work with him in the studio, but you see how he understood. You see how Easy Mo B said, "I understood," because he ain't saying, "Man, all the stuff New York did for him, he should have did this," because you got to understand what people going through. You can't always try to force your opinion on people. You understand? Like he said, "I understand what he going through. He don't know who to trust. I get it." You understand? So you gotta respect a person like that. You gotta understand, you can't always think because you think he should have did this or done that. Doesn't mean he think that way. You gotta respect other people. You don't know their situation, what they going through, how they thinking. You know what I mean? That's that. So he broke it down properly the way he said. I'm sure he don't trust people from New York.
So Pac wasn't rocking with nobody from New York.
To be honest, there were people from New York he was rocking with. I think Easy Mo B, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have met him through like Stretch and Biggie and them because I believe he also produced for them. So like he said, he might not know what I knew, So Pac was like, it's a blurred line right there. I was in the studio with him and he know Biggie, he know Stretch. So maybe that's why Pac felt, you know what, I ain't about to deal with him. But he had a lot of love for people in New York. He still had family in New York. Remember, he did the One Nation album with the people from Brooklyn, Smith and Wesson, Buckshot and them. Like, so he was still messing with New York. He probably wasn't messing with a group of individuals from New York, a circle, that type of circle that they all knew each other. He probably didn't feel comfortable with them. And Easy Mo B is a good dude, but Pac still was like, I gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's understandable. I get it. I get it. Hey, check your phone right quick. I want you to listen to this clip of Suge speaking on how Quincy Jones he tried to sleep with Pop. I want to get your opinion on this.
Kadada and Quincy never was going to be involved with Quincy Jones and Kadada with a label. I was there, really there at that dinner. I was really there when Kadada was cool with it and Quincy Jones wanted Tupac to run him, spend the night with him.
Yeah, this
Pac
guy
never
crazy.
would have fucked with him. Kadada wanted to bring Quincy to meet with Pac. Pac said, he told me, you my big brother. I don't have no father. Come on. So they was thrown off a little bit. We all sat at the tables and Kadada know the truth. And Quincy wanted Pac to spend the night to get to know him. And then Pac being Pac saying, well, you know, me and Kadada going to be making noise. And then Kadada said, I'm not going to be
What the
there.
heck?
And Pac said, well, I'm going to sleep at. Quincy stay with me in my bed.
Bruh. Yeah, I don't know, cause
Hey, but you know, I ain't trying to throw Kevin Campbell on the bus and a whole bunch.
yeah, Suge is wild, bro. I don't know, bro. Suge crazy a little bit. So some I never heard nothing like that. You know what I mean? I would have think Pac would have told us, but we was young. Some stuff he ain't tell us, but with Suge, bro, let's be with Suge. A lot of stuff like Suge, you gotta take the stuff with a grain of salt with Suge. A lot of stuff be truth, then a lot of stuff he just be trolling. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if that's one of those, if it's one of those times he trolling or it's something that really happened. That's crazy. I would have doubt that, bro. Probably would have. I know QD3, the son. I might have to ask him, like, bro, what's up going on with this rumor? But you know, Quincy Jones just passed away. We don't want to disrespect the dead. He did just pass away. You know what I mean? When it comes with stories like that from Suge, you don't know what's true, what's trolling, because it's just that a lot of times he do that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
How did Pac personally feel about Quincy Jones?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I ever heard him even speak about him. You know, he was going to marry Kadada from what he was in love with the daughter. He was close with QD3, the brother. He produced a lot of stuff for Pac. He was a producer. But I never heard him mention anything about the father.
From your point of view, hypothetically speaking, if Quincy Jones did try Pac like that, how do you think Pac would have reacted?
I think it would have been in every interview because you know Pac, he'd be like, man, and Quincy Jones did this. Like, I don't think he would have been, bruh, he probably would have blasted him. It would have been everywhere just from the Pac we know. You know what I mean? Like, man, and so I that's why I said I don't know if Suge just, so, when you just be a lot of stuff he make up these stories. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. So, but I don't know. He said he was there. You know what I mean? The Pac that I know, that I think, um, I think it would have been out. Like Pac probably would have been upset, and he probably would have been blasting it. He probably would have been talking about it in interviews and be like, "Man, you and Quincy Jones gonna say that." You know what I mean? That's from what I thought would have happened. That's crazy though, but to even say something like that's crazy.